Evelynn is an AP burst mage that thrives on picking off enemies from the shadows. It takes perfect positioning and timing to truly excel on Evelynn. So what does the #1 Evelynn player do to have a 76% win rate in 66 games? Find out in this episode of the #1 player in the World Series featuring Evelynn, Agony's Embrace. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Twigger, and I have another episode of the #1 player in the World Series. This time, I am featuring the champion, Evelynn, and we are following this player, Dupka, or Dupka, I'm not entirely sure how you say it, but this player is a master tier player on the EU Northeast server. Crazy stats on Evelynn. With 66 games played, this player has a 76% win rate with a crazy KDA of 7.8 kills to 3.7 deaths and 8.5 assists. So if you haven't watched one of these videos of mine before, what I'm going to be doing is mainly focusing on this Evelynn, trying to see how this player builds, how this player clears the jungle, and does everything in this game that makes this Evelynn so much better than the general public's Evelynn. But I'll also try to do commentary on the game as a whole and in its entirety, just so that way we can actually see how this game progresses in terms of who gets fed, who gets kills, and how the game overall is going to be played outright. I'll be sure to post Evelynn's runes here so that way we can see exactly what this Evelynn does run in the jungle. Right now running Electrocute, Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collection, and Relentless Hunter to get that additional movement speed. And then in the sorcery tree, going that Absolute Focus and Water Walking. So probably going to be seeing, especially with that Water Walking, a lot of control in that river. And then in terms of the remaining rune stats, 2 points in adaptive force and a little bit of additional health. So, of course, we are seeing that the Evelynn did go for those hate spikes first. That's a very standard thing to go in the jungle. Kind of a very interesting thing. I normally wouldn't have expected something like Sudden Impact, but you do actually get that dash from your Whiplash, your E. So you do actually gain that, and also you get another dash from your ultimate. That is considered one to activate that Sudden Impact. But in terms of who we've got in this game, up in the top lane, we have got a Tryndamere versus a Riven. In the jungle, we've of course got our Evelynn versus the Lee Sin. In the mid lane, we've got a Pyke mid versus a Kassadin. And in the bot lane, we've got Sona Jhin versus Vayne and the Lulu. So definitely some interesting lanes, some really chaotic lanes, I would say. But it looks like we already might have the first gank here. Right now, the Evelynn is meeting up with the Lee Sin in the jungle. Right now, the red side does have priority on the Scuttlecrab, so the Lee Sin is just going to be able to take that one, and unfortunately, the Evelynn just has to walk away. But that is some pretty pertinent information, knowing where the Lee Sin is. Looks like the Lee Sin might actually come up here to try to get a gank onto this Pyke, but Pyke is just going to go invisible, try to walk away from this one. Gets the ward down and dodges the Q, so very nicely done from that Pyke just to get away from that. But the Evelynn did now just go for her Raptors, but it means that the top lane Scuttlecrab is going to be completely available for that Lee Sin probably to take. So right now we're just having a pretty standard jungle clear from the Evelynn. A lot of Evelynns that I've seen tend to try to farm out to rush their level 6, because when you get your level 6, of course, you do get your passive, which is basically getting you invisible, so that way you can actually run through lanes and get close to people before you gank them. So really, really impactful level 6 for that Evelynn. So you might not see as many early ganks coming out of a really good Evelynn, just more of a jungle rush to level 6. Which looks like this is what this Evelynn is doing, just a full clear. In terms of how everybody's farm is doing right now, up in the top lane, very even, but Riven just pulling ahead slightly. Mid lane, of course, 20 to 25. Kassadin doing a pretty good job there. And then 19 to 23 in this bot side. Jhin, of course, being an incredibly good ADC right now. But Vayne did get buffed recently, so she should actually be able to provide a pretty solid challenge to this Jhin. And it's just kind of boring for the Evelynn right now, who's basically just clearing her entire jungle. She is, of course, getting, just in terms of the overall levelness of things, getting that hate spike leveled up first. So leveling up that Q first. I think normally Eve players tend to do their hate spike first, get their E maxed second, and then followed by their allure, their W, and only having 1 point in that allure just to get that charm off. But the charm for Evelynn is so important, because when you do hit that allure, it drops their magic resistance to the target by, I think, 35% at max levels. So it's a huge reduction in magic resistance, and it's really, really big. Oh, is he gonna? He's gonna land the hook, and the charm is gonna land as well. Pyke does also have his ignite, but he's not gonna use it. Looks like a lot of damage going onto the Pyke. The Q is landing. The resonant strike is gonna go through. Flash coming out from the Kassadin, but the flash unfortunately came out from the Pyke a little bit earlier than the Kassadin, and it looks like Pyke's gonna get away from that one, and of course just heal up with that gray health, which is just completely overpowered. So Flash is being burned by both mid laners, but the Ignite not being used by the Pyke, which is kind of interesting. I thought that he was definitely going to jump in with that Ignite to try to get a kill. But Cassin is now just going to be, but looks like the Lee Sin is going to try to be a little bit aggressive here. The Eve still does have her Flash available, but so does the Lee Sin, so not entirely sure if Eve wanted to go for that Flash lure. Is he going to go in with the Q? No, he's not. The Lee Syndrome is not there. Looking at the top lane as well, Tryndamere is now just kind of farming underneath this turret because he can. Right now, Riven just doesn't have the ability to push this Tryndamere off. And it looks like Riven's now pinging this Tryndamere, trying to get a little bit of assistance, but the Evelynn might very well come up here, but it looks like the Flash and the heal were both burned by that Vayne, sitting at like 100 HP, but here comes the Cavalry. So the Evelynn getting that Allure up, does have her Flash available, not sure if she's going to use, she is going to Flash and land the Charm, even through the spinning slash of the Tryndamere, but unfortunately it's just not really going to be enough, but the Q is going to land from the Lee Sin, very, very aggressive, but it's just going to safeguard back to the Tryndamere. The Pyke did start moving his way back up to try to support that if they did commit to that fight. But so far, we still have absolutely no kills in this game. It's still 0-0, but we're already seeing almost a 1,000 gold lead in favor of this red side, just strictly based on the farm. Riven is now going a little bit aggressive with that level 6. Going to use the ult, but it's not going to be enough. The ultimate coming out of the Tryndamere, and is going to flash, and it looks like it's going to be first blood for that Lee Sin. Unfortunately, you know, it's one of those things when Tryndamere has his ultimate, does have to press that ultimate, he won't die, and then the Lee Sin just followed up. The Riven did at least get the Ignite and both flashes, so the Tryndamere flashed and the Lee Sin flashed, so that is something. But that's going to be a struggle now against that Tryndamere. But Evelynn did go back. What did she pick up? She did pick up her Chilling Smite and an Amplifying Tome, so pretty standard stuff. Probably going to be seeing her go into that Runic Echoes pretty early, because that just helps with your overall mana regen and also your overall clear, having that that Echoes proc on jungle camps. But the blue side now opting for this Dragon. They did, of course, see the Lee Sin top side getting that first blood onto the Riven. So take the first blood, get yourself an Infernal Drake. I think that's actually an overall better trade for the blue side, especially getting that Infernal Dragon earlier rather than later, because that early Infernal really, really helps your damage. And it looks like the next dragon is actually going to be a Mountain Drake, so there's probably, I think, going to be a lot of action and contention for these dragons. So talking a little bit more just about Evelynn and things that you can kind of do to make yourself maybe a little bit better on Evelynn, is her Whiplash. When you do use it, that's her E ability, does have a percentage of max health associated with it. But when you do hit level 6, if you use your Whiplash first coming out of your stealth, you actually do additional percentage max health damage. So when you come out of stealth, it's 4% of their max health plus 2.5 per 100 AP that you have percent of max health, rather than the 3% plus 1.5. So it's one of those little things that coming out of stealth, choosing your ability wisely and leading off with your E is actually could make a huge difference in how much damage you can do to somebody to pop them. But we do currently have a little bit of a gank happening in this bot side. I don't believe that this bot lane knows that the Lee Sin is here, so could be kind of a bad position for these guys to be in. And Evelynn, unfortunately, did just go back. Not entirely sure what she went back for. She is just going to pick up a Dark Seal, so maybe looking to get a little bit more healing out of those potions, that refillable pot especially. But looks like they did get a ward into this brush, so they are going to be okay from this Lee Sin gank, and he's just going to have to go on his merry way. Not entirely sure if this Evelynn is going to be ballsy enough to turn that Dark Seal into a Magi Soul Stealer. I have seen it done on Evelynn's, especially if you're looking for that real, like, boom, one pop shot from an Evelynn onto a squishy target. But it is a very risky purchase. So we're back up into this top lane. Tryndamere is just kind of doing a great job here, and it looks like the Riven is currently like pinging for a lot of assistance here. Riven is going to go for this control, but this actually might be perfect bait for this Evelynn to come in. She does have level 6, so she cannot be seen right now until that ward is cleared. So the ward is now cleared. Riven's going to start walking away. The charm is going to land onto the Tryndamere, but of course the Undying Rage is going to come out immediately. But is he going to be able to escape this one? So far, so good. Is going to get away from this. The ultimate is still available for that Evelynn. Let's just watch this chase right now. I think he's going to probably try to execute under the turret, but I don't know if enough time has actually gone by yet. Going to try to get under here. The spinning slash is going to come out. Is it going to be enough time? No, it's not. And our Evelynn picking up her first kill of the game. Just because it just wasn't enough time. I get what the Tryndamere was trying to do. He wasn't going to escape the Riven, but just trying to get underneath the turret to sacrifice his life and maybe get an execute so that way nobody gets additional gold. But that means our Evelynn picking up her first kill of the game, using that lure, of course, to reduce the magic resistance of that blue buff to make sure that her abilities do more damage. And right now, it's actually just been a very standard game. No one's really playing hyper aggressive, but now that Evelynn is level 7, well, when she turned level 6, you can now see a way more aggressive Evelynn player, and the ultimate gonna come out from the Pyke, and that's gonna be enough. Unfortunately, the Evelynn ultimate coming out right after the Pyke ult, but man, that is a disgusting execute combo. The Pyke ultimate and the Evelynn ultimate getting that execute damage, so that's gonna be a great combination to see later on in this game. But now that Evelynn's got that stealth, we're seeing how terrifying Evelynn can be as a jungler, and it looks like there you go, another kill for that Pyke, picking up his second kill of the game onto that Kassadin. Not entirely sure how that even happened. When Kassadin has Flash and Rift Walk available, the Pyke, I guess, Flash ignited and then ulted. And that seemed to be enough, but got a little bit of a fight down here. The Vayne is going to get a great condemn onto that Jhin into the wall. Unfortunately, not enough damage to kill the Vayne in return, but looks like that was just an overall great fight for that bot lane. Vayne picking up 2 kills and Evelynn being part of one of those assists. So, man, it's just, you know, now it's 5-1, but still only about a 500 gold lead in favor of this blue side. So, still anybody's game, really. But here comes the Lee Sin. Not going to land the Q. That is really unfortunate. Going to get that challenging smite down, and unfortunately, the ultimate not coming out quite yet. The ult's going to have to go into the Vayne, but he's waiting for his Q. The Q is going to land, and he's going to be able to get a kill, even through the flash on the Vayne, trying to get the canceled damage out from that Q. But here comes the Evelynn. Is just going to flash in and get those hate spikes down with the whiplash, and that's going to be Evelynn's second kill of this game, currently sitting at 2-0-2. So it was a great play by the Lee Sin. Unfortunately, missing that first Q meant that it became a little bit more challenging, but to be honest, since he did miss that Q, he ended up getting the flash out of the Lulu and the flash out of the Vayne. So, you know, not too bad picking up 2 kills and getting 2 flashes. So the red side bot lane should be feeling pretty comfortable now, and that almost evened out the gold as well. So just kind of checking out what this Evelynn is doing, making sure to get the allure onto that large raptor, and then just using those hate spikes to clear everything out. Evelynn just once again has some great clear in her jungle on both like multiple targets like the raptors, but also with that allure does a great job of clearing out single targets like blue buff and red buff, and especially with the whiplash doing percentage health damage. But the Evelynn is going back. She does almost have her Q max and is of course maxing her whiplash second. But what did Evelynn go and pick up? She went and picked up a Sheen and also finished off her runic echoes. So there's going to be a lot of damage coming out of this Evelynn, because of course when you use that whiplash, you proc that Sheen, and it is going to be some big damage, and has 6 stacks on her Dark Seal. So once again, I'm not entirely sure if Evelynn is going to be building that Dark Seal into a Magi Soul Sealer, but when you're already sitting at 6 stacks this early in the game, it might not be a bad idea. But there is a pink ward here, so of course Evelynn is, I believe, camouflaged, so the pink ward can see her. It's not like a Twitch or a Shaco, I believe, who can not be seen by those pink wards. So she does have to play pretty carefully around those wards. But teleport coming in from the Kassadin to get back into lane. The Mountain Drake is now the next objective that everybody's going to be looking for. The Tryndamere was down here, but here's a fight between the Lee Sin and also the Pyke. Pyke is not going to heal up quite enough, and the challenging smite is going to be enough to take him down. The Lee Sin actually just kind of obliterated him. The Kassadin is now trying to get in onto this Evelynn, but the stealth once again is going to keep her alive here. Just walk away from that. But yeah, unfortunately, the Pyke just didn't seem to get anything. After the kick from the Lee Sin, followed up by the Q, it was just easy for him to get a kill. Sona is way out of position, trying to clear wards around the Dragon Pit, but didn't have any help from anybody on her team, and the Jhin was B, so I have no idea why she was roaming that far up, but that is just a free kill for that blue side, and the Evelynn picking up her 3rd kill of the game, which already sitting at 3-0-2 and already having that 500 gold bounty on her head. Going to be some interesting stuff happening later on in this game, but we can already see just in terms of differences in this game. Up in the top lane, Tryndamere's gotten this turret to almost a quarter HP, got a lot of those plates off, so there's a lot of extra gold in Tryndamere's pocket, and Riven has barely even touched this turret. In terms of farm, 111 to 121, so Tryndamer winning that lane. In the mid lane, 119 to 94, so Kassadin have a good time farming down there, and it looks like also 122 to 105 in favor of that Jhin, but of course the 2 kills and the 2 assists for the Vayne means that she's probably ahead in the overall gold game. But in the jungle, which is what we really care about, Evelynn 74 to the 91 of the Lee Sin, and right now the Lee Sin playing a pretty mean Lee Sin, 4-2-0 with a 600 gold bounty and 3-0-2 for this Evelynn. Evelynn did go back and pick up her Sork boots, and it has 8 stacks on that Dark Seal, so the max stacks you can get on Dark Seal is of course 10, and when you upgrade to your Magi Soul Seal, you do have 10 Magi stacks, so it starts you off on a pretty good playing field when you do have 10 Dark Seal stacks. But once again, not sure if that's going to be happening, but we do have the Lee Sin currently taking the grunt from this Evelynn. Not sure if he's going to get it, is going to use that Q, but no, it looks like the Riven's going to take that one, but they did not know that the Evelynn was here, and huge ultimate, amazing amount of damage. Unfortunately, the Riven didn't even get an assist on that one. It happened so quick, and Evelynn just blowing up the Lee Sin. So that's the best part about Evelynn and having that stealth, is that they did not know for a second that Evelynn was there, and then just a couple attacks and just blew up the Lee Sin entirely. So that's going to be a huge shutdown. That was 600 gold additionally that went to that Evelynn. So some great numbers coming out of Eve right now. Right now they are trying to get this Rift Herald, but I think they're going to back off of this one just because the Tryndamere was kind of peeking his head in. In terms of items, has anybody really purchased anything big here? We do, of course, have the Archangel's Staff completed on the Cassin, so he's going to try to finish that off into a Seraph's Embrace. And when he does have that Seraph's, you get that huge mana shield, which makes him a lot harder to deal with. Pyke does have that Tiamat, and it looks like he's going for a little bit more damage, maybe something like a Dustblade of Drakthar. I'm assuming just because of all of the longswords and the Serrated Dirk. And then we've got the Blade of the Ruin King, of course, on Vayne, but the Storm Razor counter kind of on the Jhin. It looks like Pyke is going to go a little bit aggressive. Does have his ultimate, but the Flash coming out of the Cassin. So Flash for ulti, I would take that any day. The Ignite also went down from the Pyke, so unfortunately not landing a kill there, but definitely a big chunk of damage coming out from that Pyke. So Cassin's got to be a little bit wary, but unfortunately Lee Sin once again going up to that top side and getting a kill onto the Riven. And it looks like Eve did go back, and oh baby, we've got a spicy game. She did go back and pick up a Magi's Soul Stealer, so this is exactly what we wanted to see. Hopefully this Evelynn gets absolutely gigantic and we can see that 25 stacks, but there's the Allure onto the Lee Sin. I don't think these guys are going to want to stay here. They do know that Pyke doesn't have ultimate though, and it looks like the Tryndamere is just going to run away from this one. The Lee Sin might come in to try to steal this one, but the Q didn't land, so he might have to safeguard in here, but there you go. The Smite is going to come out from that Evelynn and is going to secure the Rift Herald, which is pretty big. That almost guarantees you a turret. But with all that being said, oh, huge amount of damage coming down onto that Tryndamere, but of course the Undying Rage is going to activate, and Tryndamere now doing a lot of damage to that Evelynn. Unfortunately, that ultimate wasn't going to be enough, but it actually is enough to pick up the Tryndamere. Not entirely sure what the overall damage that came out of that Evelynn was. Like, he was alive, and then the Evelynn couldn't get back in, and he still died. Maybe it was the red buff. Does Evelynn currently have red buff? No, she doesn't, but oh, Sona getting picked off, but the nice flash over a really thick part of the wall. That's actually, you got to give the Sona a little bit of credit there. That is a really challenging wall to flash over. We've seen multiple fails on that flash. So to do that quickly when you're getting absolutely dumpstered by an Evelynn, that was a very, very good play. But once again, it was just kind of one of those, why were you there in the first place when you knew that everybody was right here fighting? Just kind of, once again, an interesting play, let's say. So Evelynn now having that Magi's Soul Stealer has 14 stacks already. So 11 more stacks, people. And then we're going to be seeing a gigantic Evelynn. Because you get that huge bump in AP when you build that. And if you go the Magi's and get 25 stacks, and then you go for something like a Rabadon's Death Cap, your damage is huge. But there we go, turret falling in both the mid lane and the bot lane for the blue side, but the first turret, of course, was taken up in that top lane by the Tryndamere and the Lee Sin. Evelynn is currently here looking for a bit of a gank, trying to probably get a counter gank here, just because the Lee Sin was shown nearby. And we already know that if Evelynn gets any allure on somebody, they are going to die because she has so much damage. So I don't think the Lee Sin knows that the Evelynn is around. I don't think anybody knows that the Evelynn is currently here. So I'm going to try to look for a pick. She does have her ultimate up in just a few seconds, so probably has to wait for that one because that is a major source of damage. Right now, the Jhin is going to get flashed on by the Evelynn. It's just going to get absolutely blown up. Great use of that flash just to get over the wall while the Jhin was channeling his ultimate. Vayne is now doing Vayne things, and Pyke going to use that ultimate to get a kill onto the Lee Sin. Vayne is going to fall to the Cassin, though. Pyke ultimate being used a little bit early, but it doesn't really seem to matter. But Cassin doing some huge damage, and the ultimate from the Evelynn missing. I don't know if the Cassin's going to be able to follow this Eve with his Rip Walk. He's going to run out of mana sooner or later, but right now the stealth has been activated by the Evelynn, but is going to get spotted out by the Cassin. But a great Blast Cone is going to get our Evelynn out of this one, and she's just going to go right back to farming. Tryndamere is here, but Cassin is not going to secure that Quadra kill. And it also looks like the Tryndamere just using this time to take down this Mountain Dragon, which I would like to say is an incredible call because he knows that the Evelynn is pretty low and is probably going B. Evelynn is going to try to check for this. No, she's not. So that's going to be a free Mountain Dragon for that red side, which is a pretty big deal because, of course, having that Mountain Dragon makes taking things like Baron and inhibitor turrets and inhibitors way, way faster. So now that they have a Mountain Dragon, the Baron becomes a very big concern, especially when you have champions like a Tryndamere doing an insane amount of damage. We still also have that Rift Herald on the Evelynn. So she did go B. She picked up 22 stacks already on her Majai's Soul Stealer. So just like a couple more assists and she'll have 25 stacks. Went back, purchased her Lich Bane, currently sitting at 1,000 gold for a bounty, which is terrifying to have because it basically means if you die once, you're going to bring somebody right back into this game. Like the red team right now is looking to get that kill onto somebody like the Jhin, who's currently 1-3-2. If he gets a kill onto that Evelynn, picks up 1,000 gold, he is right back into this game. So we do have the Tryndamere kind of engaging onto this Riven, but the Allure is not going to go down. They do have the Sona and the Lee Sin here as well, but the Pyke is going to start making his Roma. And oh my god, that was some damage. Man, Tryndamere couldn't even activate his ultimate. He still had that thing available. Riven taking down the Sona as well, and Pyke now working his way onto the Lee Sin. The ultimate is going to come down, especially with the Q from the Lee Sin as well, and it looks like the Rift Herald is going to be summoned. Man, I don't even know what happened there. That Tryndamere didn't even get to activate his ultimate. He just got blown up entirely by Evelynn. And it looks like that Rift Herald is going to be able to chunk down that turret and take down the top lane first tier turret. And they're going to, I guess, just leave the Rift Herald up there. I think they would probably hope to try to get a... Oh, wow, they're going for a very early Baron. I was wondering why they weren't assisting that Rift Herald to maybe try to get another charge off. It's because they don't even care. They want to just go for the Baron. It's 20 minutes into this game, and they secured the first Baron of the game at only 20 minutes and 50 seconds. So right now, this blue team is looking fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, 25 stacks on our Evelynn. Look at that. So already sitting at 435 AP. And we were correct in what we were kind of saying at the beginning of this game. Max the Q first, max the E second, of course maxing your ult, but then only saving 1 point in Allure just to have that available. But maxing those huge damage spells first. Here goes the Kassadin, and what the hell? Oh, the damage is nuts. Like, what do you do against that? The Kassadin couldn't even Rift Walk or flash away. Just got absolutely blown up by that Evelynn. So that's going to be a crazy thing to have to deal with. I'm not entirely sure how this enemy team deals with this 9-0-2 Evelynn. But right now it looks like they are using that Baron buff to try to push up this second tier mid turret. They do have 4 members of this team, and Riven is just going to split push. Evelynn is trying to look for a flank here if this enemy team does decide to engage. They do get a great crescendo onto this Vayne, but unfortunately the Lulu ultimate is going to come up, but the Q is going to land from the Lee Sin. Lulu is now the next target. Lee Sin going to safeguard to a ward and flash in to get the slowdown from his E. And right now the Pyke is in danger as well. Is going to get locked down by the Jhin, but a really nice pull from the Pyke as well. Does have his ultimate available if he wants to use it, but is just going to back off on this one. Jhin is very, very low, and Evelynn is looking to flank. The flash coming out from the Sona is going to keep her alive for a little bit longer. The dying rage is not available for this Tryndamere. Huge double kill with that Pyke ultimate on the Jhin and also the Sona, and it looks like Tryndamere is now in the sights of this Pyke. Not entirely sure if he's going to be able to secure the kill on this one, but he does still have his ultimate on reset. The Evelynn is now looking for this Lee Sin. Is going to manage to get the damage off. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it is, and that's going to be a legendary Evelynn, and Pyke getting his 3rd kill of that fight. Kassadin nowhere to be seen. Just kind of split pushing down to the bottom, feeling really good about himself getting that CS. But overall, that was a great fight in favor of that blue side. It looked like it was going to be a great... Oh, using that ultimate because he couldn't get another kill with it. At least use it to clear out some minions. That's a smart idea. So it's one of those things that it looked really good at the beginning for that red side, picking off that Vayne and also picking the Lulu. But then I guess they just got a little bit too aggressive, and the Evelynn had an amazing flank while they were on the turret. And the Pyke managed to get away, but then came right back in after they had turret dove. The Jhin got really, really low. Pyke gets a double kill with his ultimate, and then they just chased everybody down and picked them off one by one. Like, it's a great thing killing the Vayne and the Lulu, but when you look at the score lines, the Vayne and the Lulu are the least of your concerns, right? 2, 4, and 5, and 1, 4, and 6. It's the 10, 0, and 3, and 7, 2, 2 Evelynn and Pyke that you need to worry about. But Evelynn did go back and picked up a death cap. Oh, 778 AP on this Evelynn at only 23.5 minutes in. Like, what do you do against this Evelynn? And he's been playing such a great Eve, just making sure that he got to level 6 early, then started really aggressively ganking, which I think is the more interesting part of his jungle play, is that he really didn't gank like at all. He maybe ganked like once, before he hit level 6. And then when he hit level 6, he just went hyper-aggressive mode. Eve is just going to blow up the Kassadin. And trying to dodge out on these Jhin ults is going to make it out. The Jhin had to cancel his ultimate because he was probably going to get taken down by somebody if he stayed there. But that's a Kassadin. Kassadins are supposed to be pretty good counters to mages and magic damage. But even with the Seraph's Embrace, I don't even think he hit the Seraph's Embrace, because that's not on cooldown. He had his flash, his ultimate, and Seraph's Embrace to try to keep him alive during that Eve burst, and it wasn't enough. So that is absolutely crazy to me how much damage this Evelynn is doing. But it looks like Riven just kind of playing around with this Lee Sin, clearing out that pink ward. I'm not entirely sure what the red team can do here. What's the win condition? Like, the Ocean Dragon is currently available, but right now it just seems as though the red team can't fight the blue side right now. It looks like the ultimate going down from the Lulu. The Lee Sin did go in on this one onto a Vayne and a Lulu by himself. I'm not entirely sure what he was thinking there. Just jumped in thinking that his team was going to be there, but they don't have a Jhin ultimate to chase, and the Kassadin was nowhere to be seen. So that was just an absolute wasted death by that Lee Sin. The flash coming in from the Kassadin, though, is going to absolutely blow up the Lulu. It looks like Pyke's the next target. Great crescendo coming down to secure the kill onto the Pyke. The Jhin picking that one up, and now a double kill from the Kassadin, landing that kill onto the Vayne. Nice having a fed Kassadin on your team when he's actually available for fights and not dead because the Eve just popped him. But Riven is now available, going to jump over that wall, trying to get the damage on the Wind Slash. Isn't going to do enough damage at all, and the Kassadin is still here. Does have the Ripwalk, but it looks like the Evelynn is going to, the Riven is going to turn, get a double kill on both the Jhin and the triple kill from this Riven, picking up the Kassadin as well. Man, I thought that after the Wind Slash was done and the ultimate was over, I thought that the Riven was absolutely screwed because she barely touched the Jhin with all that healing coming out of the heal from the Jhin and also the healing from the Sona. But looks like she picked up a triple kill for herself. Very well done. Even now going to get the Allure onto the Tryndamere. The ultimate is going to come up for Tryndamere as well. Ultimate going to come out from Vayne also, and it looks like the Lulu is going to be able to shield, and the Lulu's going to pick up the kill on the Tryndamere. Great timing for that Lulu to come back. So once again, Evelynn just using that ultimate to buy herself a little bit of distance, forcing the Tryndamere to come to her. Lulu came up at the exact right time to land that shield and a slow onto the Tryndamere to make sure he couldn't catch up to the Evelynn, and that's going to be a free kill. But we are seeing, though, that the Tryndamere was able to take that second tier mid turret, so it's pretty damn even. In the mid lane at least, but 27 to 15, 53.3k gold to 47.3k gold. Looks like the red side did just pick up their second dragon of the game, securing that Ocean Dragon. Not entirely sure how much gold this Evelynn currently has on her. 11, 0, and 4. Still with that 1,000 gold bounty, has not given that one up yet, but the Baron Nashor is now spawning, but Evelynn once again flanking around. Nobody knows where this Evelynn is, and they are going to look for a gank here. The Pyke is coming in as well. The ultimate is available for the crescendo, is going to go out onto the Pyke. Right now, Evelynn just can't seem to find her way in. The Jhin is incredibly fast, and both of them can't seem to find their way around here. The slow is going to land, and also another Jhin ultimate is going to land as well. The ultimate coming down from the Evelynn, going to be enough to kill the Tryndamere. Still legendary, but unfortunately, the Lee Sin might very well be able to get the final shutdown onto this Evelynn. She is spotted, going to get a couple turret shots on her, and she is going to finally go down. The 1,000 gold bounty is going to go in favor of that Lee Sin. Ultimate coming down from the Lulu, and the Wind Slash is available for that Riven, but a Pyke ultimate is going to miss onto the castle, but it doesn't seem to matter. Pyke still picking up that kill thanks to the Vayne damage, but, you know, it's still an ace, so that's actually a huge turn. So ace for the blue side. Could very well go for the Baron if they chose to. Surrender votes already coming up from the red side, but they still did lose the Evelynn, which was a 1,000 gold bounty. And the thing is, so it was a 1,000 gold bounty, which I think just got, oops, I accidentally paused it, which I think still went over to that Lee Sin, so 1,000 gold, but she still has a 900 gold bounty, so if they kill her again, that's 1,900 gold going over, which is absolutely crazy. So looks like this blue team is going to start off this Baron, which is definitely a smart move because the Lee Sin is still dead for another 10 seconds. Of course, the Evelynn is still dead for another 5 seconds, but they don't really have anything to really contest this Baron. So this is going to be the second Baron of the game going in favor of the blue side. Going to be very interesting to see how they use it, maybe to try to break down the base and get one of these inhibitors. But the Evelynn is now up. She did spend her gold. What did she pick up? She has a Void Staff. Now, see, the unfortunate thing, though, is that she's now at 15 stacks, which, you know, that always sucks. It's just, when you have 25 stacks, the dream has been realized. You've got 25 stacks, and you've got the Rabadon's Death Cap. But still, even with 15 stacks, sitting at 914 ability power. Like, she is hitting like an absolute truck. That ultimate, look at the ultimate damage. 750 plus 1,370 to champions below 30% health. Even just on regular champions, 375 plus 685, over 1,000 damage from that Evelynn ultimate. So here we go. The Tryndamere is going to be the next target. He does not have his ultimate available, trying to juke out that hate spike. Did manage to juke it out, and the allure did not land. So this is going to be a little bit tougher. Huge damage coming out of that whiplash, and it looks like the Evelynn is just going to back off and get that kill over to the Pyke. I'm not entirely sure he needs more kills, 10, 3, and 2, but I think maybe the Evelynn was just playing a little bit more passively, because if the Tryndamere did have his ultimate up, maybe they just didn't know the timing on that one, then he might have been able to kill the Evelynn if she got too close. So very nicely played. We do have the Guardian Angel on that Pyke as well. Jhin is being caught out in a really bad position, but unfortunately not going to be able to be taken down. Looks like a lot of damage coming down from the Kassadin as well, but it looks like they do have 4 members down here. I don't know if they're looking to engage here. The W from the Jhin is going to land to lock down that Lulu, but the Guardian Angel is going to be procced by that Lee Sin, and it looks like these guys are actually going to be able to escape this one. Right now, Evelynn just up near the top side. Looks like the Vayne is going to pick up another kill, and Riven is currently nowhere to be seen, it seems. Pyke and Vayne currently going to have to carry this one. Huge crescendo landing on the Pyke and also the Vayne. Kassadin doing a huge amount of damage, going to try to use his Rift to probably get in onto this Lulu and secure his second kill of this fight, but no, Pyke is going to be there for the ultimate. He still has his Guardian Angel up as well, and while all this is happening, looks like the Evelynn is just currently pushing into the base with the Riven. Lulu's still alive, but no is going to finally fall to that movement speed of the Jhin getting those crits, and Riven is going to take down the second inhibitor of this game, the top lane inhibitor, and also the mid lane inhibitor going down, trying to secure a kill onto the Tryndamere, but he is doing a pretty good job at dodging those Riven stuns, but that is going to be finally it. The ultimate coming down from the Tryndamere as well, but Evelynn is here to assist, but he is going to get a kill onto that Riven. That's a huge amount of damage, but there we go, the double kill going in favor of our Evelynn, currently sitting at 14, 1, and 5, 30 minutes into this game. Huge amount of damage happening to that turret as well, but Jhin coming in, landing himself that final crit and getting 1,000 gold. Man, that was just a huge amount of damage. The Evelynn tried to take down these turrets and did a huge amount of damage to them, but unfortunately the Jhin was just there to get that crit off, and that was enough to secure that kill onto the Evelynn, give another 1,000 gold to that Jhin, which is going to bring him right back into the game. So let's see exactly what he plans on picking up with that huge chunk of gold. Went back and picked up an entire Phantom Dancer just because of that kill. So that's a huge swing. So in terms of how this game is currently progressing, we are seeing a pretty dominant performance from this blue side, but still 65.5k to 60k. It's only a 5.5k gold lead in favor of this blue side, which is not insurmountable. They do have the dragon lead in favor of that red side, but the Barons have all gone over to the blue side. Now they have to deal with the super minions coming into the base, but for some teams that can actually be a blessing in disguise, because it means that since they haven't really been able to push out and get farm because that Evelynn and Pyke are so fed, now the minions are going to be able to come to them and they'll be able to get that farm. Jhin got himself a stopwatch as well to maybe keep himself alive for a little bit longer during that Evelynn bombardment. But this might be exactly what that red team needs to try to push themselves into the farm game, try to make sure that they can get to the late game, because when you look at their team, having a Jhin and a Kassadin and a Tryndamere, it's a terrifying late game team comp from this red team, and I'm never going to count out a Kassadin when it gets to the late portion of the game, and same with a Tryndamere. So going to be interesting to see how this game progresses, if this red team can make it back, or if this Evelynn is just going to absolutely one-shot everybody on their team, sitting at 900 ability power. Some huge stuff coming out. And the Riven, you know, even though Riven had a pretty rough start to the game, already completed her 3-item power spike with the Ravenous Hydra, Death Stance, and Essence Reaver. And doing pretty well in the farm game and sitting at 6, 4, and 5, so overall not doing too badly. And it looks like the Riven actually able to solo out that Tryndamere, even through the ultimate, so very well played. And the Evelynn just blowing up the Lee Sin and not even having to use the ultimate. That's the scariest thing, is that the fact that Evelynn doesn't even need to use that execute ultimate makes it even worse. But huge damage coming out from that Kassadin to almost secure a kill onto that Pyke. But it looks like the Riven is going to go in onto this Jhin. Great crescendo landing into the Riven, and it looks like the Kassadin's going to be able to kill that Riven. And now it's the Sona being looked at by the Vayne, but Kassadin doing a lot of damage, is going to be able to secure a kill onto the Vayne. And the Kassadin is looking for potentially a pentakill here, is going to be able to secure the kill onto the Lulu, and it looks like Pyke is the next target. That's going to be a pentakill for the Kassadin, and that's the last thing that the blue side wanted to see. Huge damage coming out from that Kassadin, not even having to use that Seraph's Embrace, using that Zoni's Hourglass to keep him alive a little bit longer. But this was exactly what I was talking about, is that the late game Kassadin damage is nuts. The Evelynn can one-shot, but the Kassadin, I think, can one-shot even better. He has so many resets and so much mobility that he can just keep going during team fights, rather than just one-shotting somebody and then having to kind of run away. The Evelynn currently is full build, so we're not seeing any additional items come out, because it's one of those things that when you're playing kind of like an assassin like that, it's really nice to have that Zhonya's Hourglass, and we saw with the Cassidy right there, because it allowed his timers to kind of reset. He had all of his abilities up when that stasis effect was done, and he just got to absolutely run rampant on the enemy team and picking himself up that 5-kill, the pentakill, which is just great for that red side. So all of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen, we have a game. It's still 40-27, but look at the gold, 70.7k to 68.4k. They brought that 5.5k gold lead to just a 2,000 gold lead. So it's all of a sudden things are looking up for this red team, but right now we do have this blue side looking at this Baron. Of course, having a Vayne makes this Baron go down very, very quickly. A lot of wards coming down. Lee Sin is going to try to get in there. Not going to be able to land the steal. Evelynn being just clutch on her smites today. And that is going to be the third Baron of this game going in favor of this blue side. Looks like a lot of damage coming down from the Cassidy, and the Vayne not being able to condemn him into the wall. Huge crescendo coming from the Sona as well. The Cassidy is once again doing an insane amount of damage, being able to secure a couple kills. The Jhin picking up 2 kills, but it looks like Riven right now in the base trying to duel this Tryndamere. The ultimate from the Tryndamere is going to come out. That Undying Rage is going to keep him alive for a little bit longer. The Wind Slash isn't going to be enough. The flash coming down from the Riven, though, is going to keep herself alive and kill the Tryndamere. It looks like the 2 turrets of the Nexus are going to fall, so even though the Riven wasn't with the team during that, and now the Baron buff is gone, they still managed to get both turrets, and now they have an open Nexus turret to deal with. But man, we're seeing it. The Jhin now is all of a sudden huge. 8, 6, and 12. The Cassidy is gigantic at 13, 6, and 5. And all of a sudden, this red side is looking like they have to end the game very, very quickly. Because once again, there is only a 2,000 gold lead in favor of this blue side. And the fact that they got the Baron actually didn't mean anything because they still got aced. But I guess the Riven did get to use those the Baron empowered super minions to take down these 2 turrets. So there was at least some good that came out of that. But it looks like the Evelynn did. We finally gave up on the dream, ladies and gentlemen. We gave up on the Magi Soul Sealer, and Eve has gone for the Banshee's Veil to keep herself alive for just that little bit longer, cancel out one of those spells, because right now you really do have to try to get some magic resistance to deal with this Cassidy, because right now Cassidy can basically one-shot any member of this blue side. So you've got to be careful. We are seeing too, the scariest thing about this Cassidy right now is that he's not even full build yet. He's got a needlessly large rod, which I'm assuming is going to be built into a Rabadon's Death Cap, but he's doing that much damage and has that much mobility with not even a full build. But Evelynn has been full build for like half of this game. Unfortunately, the end of my replay got corrupted, so we can't actually see the end of the game. But what we can see is that the game only lasted another 30 seconds, and the red team was able to push for the win. In terms of the end game stats, Evelynn did incredible this game, with a final score of 15 kills, 4 deaths, and 7 assists. Surprisingly though, even though Riven had a rough early game, she topped the damage charts at 34,000, with Evelynn just behind at 32,000. I hope you all enjoyed watching the best Evelynn player in the world. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments section below what champion you would like to see featured in this series next. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.